Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Children, now we are going to see the second lesson in democratic politics, that is federalism. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Children, now we are going to see the second lesson in democratic politics, that is federalism. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. Usually, a federalism has two levels of government. Government for the entire country, that is usually responsible for a few subjects of common national interest. Government at the level of provinces or states that look after much of the day-to-day administration of the state. In this sense, federation are contrasted with unitary government. Under the unitary system, only one level of government, subunit subordinated, center can pass orders to the local government. Example, United Kingdom. But in federal system, central government cannot order the state government to do something. State government has the power of its own, which it is not answerable to the central government. Government for the entire country, governments at the levels of provinces and states both enjoy power independent of the other. State government has the power of its own and not answerable to the center. Example, USA. Let us look at some of the key features of the federalism. Federalism has two or more levels of government. Each level has its own power or jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is specified by the constitution and there is constitutional guarantee of authority. Constitutional provisions can be changed only with the consent of both levels of government. Court interprets the constitution and powers of different levels of government. Supreme Court is the umpire if dispute arise with a different level of the government. Sources of revenue are clearly specified. So these are the features of the federalism. Now let us look the objectives of the federalism. To safeguard and promote the unity of the country, to accommodate the regional diversity. Two crucial aspects of an ideal federalism. Governments at different levels should agree to some rules of power sharing. Trust and agreement to live together must be there. Now let us see the difference between coming together and holding together federalism. Coming together federalism is an independent states coming together on their own to form bigger unit. Whether in holding together, large country decides to divide the power between constitutional units and the center. In coming together, to increase the security by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity. All constituent states have equal power. Example, USA, Switzerland and Australia. In holding together, center is more powerful versus the states. Constituent units of federation have unequal power. Example, India, Spain and Belgium. We have earlier seen how small countries like Belgium and Sri Lanka face so many problems of managing diversity. What about a vast country like India with so many languages, religions and regions? What has made India a federal country? First one, Constitution has declared India as Union of States. Three-tier federalism, Union, State and Panchayat. Threefold distribution of legislative power under Union list, State list and concurrent list. All states in the Indian Union do not have identical power. Example, we have Union territories. Changes in power sharing has to be passed by 2/3 majority in the parliament. In case of any dispute regarding division of power, the apex court will take the decision. In India, Constitution clearly provided a threefold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. Thus, it contains three lists. In Union list, it includes subjects of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communications, and currency. In the state list, it contains subjects of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. In concurrent list, includes subjects of common interest to both the union government as well as the state government such as education, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. What about subjects that do not fall in any of the three lists, or subjects like computer software that come up after the constitution was made? According to our constitution, the union government has power to legislate on these residuary subjects. Residuary powers are subjects which do not fall under the three list. Union government alone has the power make laws. Example, computer software. Constitutional provisions are necessary for the success of federalism, but these are not sufficient. If the federal experiment has succeeded in India, it is not merely because of the clearly laid out constitutional provisions. Let us look at some of the major ways in which this happened. Linguistic states. The creation of linguistic states was a major first and a major test for democratic politics in our country. Linguistic states. Many new states have been formed, boundaries have been changed, people of common language have been brought together, state created on the basis of culture, ethnicity, and geography has made the country united and administration made easy. Example, Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. A second test for the Indian federalism is the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. Hindi was identified as the official language, but it is a mother tongue of only about 40% of the Indians. The central government said to continue the use of English along with the Hindi for official purposes. Central state relations. Restructuring the center state relations is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. All this changed significantly after 1990. This period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country. This was also beginning the era of coalition government. We noted about that federal governments have two or more three tiers of government. We have so far discussed the two tiers of government in our country. But a vast country like India cannot be run only to the two tiers. Thus resulted third tier of government called local government. When power is taken away from the central and state governments and given to the local government, it is called decentralization. The basic idea behind the decentralization, solving large number of problems and issues at the local level. People have better knowledge of problems in localities, better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things efficiently. People's participation in decisions making. To realize one important principle of democracy, local government. The basic idea behind the decentralization, solving large number of problems and issues at the local level. People have better knowledge of problems in localities, better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things efficiently. People's participation in decisions making. To realize one important principle of democracy, local government. Now let us see the system of the local self-government. Rural local government is popularly known as the name of Panchayat Raj. Each village or a group of villages in some states has Gram Panchayat. This is a council consisting of several wards members. often called Panch, and a president or Sarpanch. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in the ward or village. It is a decision making body for the entire village. The Panchayat works under overall supervision of Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. The local government structure goes right up to the district level. A few Gram Panchayat are grouped together to form, usually called Panchayat Samiti, block or mandal. The members of representative body are elected by all the Panchayat members in the area. All Panchayat Samitis or mandals in district together constitute Zilla Parikshad. Most members of Zilla Parikshad are elected members of the Lok Sabha of MLAs of that district, and some other official of the other district level bodies are also its member. Zilla Parikshad chairman is political head of the Zilla Parikshad. Similarly, local government bodies exist for urban areas as well. Municipalities are set up in towns. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporations. Both municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by elected bodies consisting of people's representative. Municipal chairman is the political head of the municipality. In a municipal corporation, such an officer is called mayor. This new system of local government is the largest experiments in democracy conducted anywhere in the world. Difficulties faced by the local governments: elections to Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. Most of the state government are not transferring powers and resources.